there's an adage or idiom in Pidgin English say son need to feed a dry cloth finish.
Interesting.
It is
Wait,
only water be dry commodity
Yeah,
cloth.
because when they ask what part of Nigeria, I'm like, I know you don't know any parts of Nigeria. So if I tell you,
my accent no near me. I don't get my accent. Worry has finished my accent. I know feel change am.
hello everyone, welcome to the Diaspora Chatter. On this podcast, we talk about all issues related to life in diaspora. We chat, we give advice, whatever has to do with life in diaspora. We are three Africans here, Nigerians specifically, in the United
Old
States.
worry, old worry.
I am Rukele or Rookie, and you got Mosi and Otis. What's up, guys?
Oh, good, good. Glad to be back. Hi, Rookie. Hi, Mosi.
Hi
Glad
guys,
to
how
see
you
you
guys
again.
doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm marginally happy to see you guys. Okay, I'm joking. Are they happy? I'm happy. So I'm happy to be here. Just kidding.
So our first topic today is something that every immigrant has to deal with in America or UK, and that is the question: Where are you from? I'm sure you guys have received that question many times. For me personally, anytime for the first few years I was here, when I hear where are you from, I always panic. I was like, how can I answer this question? And I'm sure you guys have experienced that question too. Mosi, you've you've experienced this, right?
Oh yes, I mean I experience it almost on a daily basis, right? So I mean I don't know how to. I just want to put this in the right way. I don't want to look like I'm attacking Nigeria in any way, but coming from Nigeria, where there are like three major tribes that people know: Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and then I'm Urobo. So we've had to deal with a lot of tribalism. For I mean, everybody knows it's true, even though some people don't like to admit it. So coming when I came to America, I think that gave me some kind of indifference. So when you ask
Mm,
me where I'm from, I really didn't care. I'll tell you where I'm from. I'm from Nigeria. But initially, it wasn't a problem. But over time, I think the longer I stayed, began to understand that there's always a reason, right? There's all that backstory of why someone is asking you that question. And I started getting to the point where I started becoming a little cautious of how I respond. Not like I'm scared, not like I'm worried about it, but I'm now in my feelings like, why are you asking me that? Do you understand? But
mm,
initially, I was cool with it. But right now, when you ask me the question, it depends on how I perceive your reasoning behind asking me that question. That determines how I feel about it and how I respond.
yeah. Yeah. Otis, how about you?
Ah,
What has
thank
been your
you.
experience with this question?
Um, when I'm asked the question, I just stop and take a minute to breathe. Where do these people, whoever is asking, does the person know where the continent of Africa is? That's the first stop because you can give a generic answer, like I'm from Africa, but it's too generic. So I go deep down. I'm from West Africa in Nigeria. So it
Mm,
depends on the interest of the person. I'm like, have you heard of Nigeria? Some of them say, oh, this next sentence or statement that come out from them is like, oh, you're Igbo or Yoruba. I'm like, well, those are the three predominant tribes. However, there are what 200, more than 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria. Then depends on their interest. I'll go for them like, okay, where I'm from the southern part of Nigeria and all those jazz. Then over time, it depends on how I'm feeling. I just said, oh, I'm from Africa. And so I'm like, oh, wow, cool. I thought you were from the West Indies or someone like, no, I'm from Africa and stuff like that. So sometimes, like Moses said, you kind of evade the questions because you get some kind of stereotype like, oh, the Lions drive cars there or something like, yeah, the Lions just got a visa too. So
Well,
we just sarcastic.
well
So,
okay. Well, I
I
think
mean, the ignorance is not that they're curious to know, but sometimes I'm like, okay, anything with living hearts and all this kind of stuff. I had one time too. Oh, you're from Africa. It's this and that and that. But it's quite interesting. Sometimes it could be painful to try to explain where West Africa is in Africa, where Nigeria is.
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's like a loaded. Oh, go ahead, Musa.
I was going to say something, right? So I think maybe the parts, maybe where I'm located, right, in the East Coast, maybe because I'm not around a lot of like traditional Americans, right? I don't want to go race, but maybe I don't get those kind of like. I've never really got anyone thinking that Africans or Nigerians living in huts and all that. So I'm going to just say, for me, I don't think I've ever had to tell anybody I'm from Africa. I've always, and even West Africa, because I always feel like, I mean, this is me saying, if you do not know Nigeria, I'm not sure you would then know West Africa. Do you understand? Like, you, I mean, that's like, if you don't know Nigeria, how you know the section, if you, which countries even exist in that whole region, right? Or was it part now, whatever.
Yeah.
So most times I tell people I'm from Nigeria. The follow up question is like, I think what Otis was saying is, are you Igbo or Yoruba? That's the next one.
Hmm.
And then I now have to explain that, oh no, I'm from the south, and I say Benin. Some people know Benin, but then I've also met someone that, oh Benin, oh you that means you speak French, and I know I'm not from Benin Republic. I'm from a
Hmm.
place
That's a
near
good one.
Benin City. So that was a whole breakdown
Hmm.
again. And guess what? This person
Hmm.
that actually didn't know Benin City, I was thinking I speak French, is from Cameroon. So you
Yeah.
make of that what you think, you know, or what you know
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. There was a time an Oyibo guy. He was. Actu- he asked me where am I from because he saw my name, first and last name. I was like, "Ugh, this question again, you know. So I was like, Nigeria. He's like, what part of Nigeria? I'm like, Delta State. He's like, what part of Delta State?
I'm like, oh
I'm
really?
like, yeah. So it turns out this Oyibo guy was actually he lived in Sapele for a while.
Oh
Oh wow.
boy, that was our own base,
Yeah,
oh, area.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why he was
Wow,
kind of asking. So it was kind
wow.
of interesting because he lived there for several years. So I thought
Sapele,
it was just
Safi.
yes, yeah. So yeah, I
Wala
think he
dey.
yeah he worked for something. I don't know what he was in, but it was. I thought it was one of those people just, but he was just curious because he wanted to know. But
Mm,
usually, I thought it was just one of those kind of questions, like just kind of trying to
mm,
ask. But I was
trying to
like,
bring
oh, okay.
conversation.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. So it
that's
was
nice.
interesting to me. Yeah, because usually, right, if I get those questions, I blow it off because like you said, I'm like, I don't know if you know even because when they ask what part of Nigeria, I'm like, I know you don't know any parts of Nigeria. So if I tell you, like, it would mean if I say Delta State, if so, oh, because most people who have heard of Nigeria, maybe they've heard of Lagos or maybe Abuja, and that's it, right? That, but if you start saying Delta State, start saying your tribal robots, like what is that, you know? So yeah, it's always interesting, and sometimes for me, I've noticed that when people ask where are you from, it's because they see your name. For me, let's say uh, we don't have like our names are not like Jim Smith or
Yeah,
so people see our names or and they're curious, like, where are you from? And then sometimes,
and it's a genuine question, not because there's any
yeah,
malice behind it. Yeah,
yeah, and some people are interested, and then some people they're asking it in a broad sense. Like, for example, when I go visit somewhere, like I go to another state and I see someone, they ask, where are you from? They're probably not really asking about like my actual origin. Just so I'm just, oh, I'm from Arizona. So it's always like one of those kind of trick questions.
yeah, I
You
get it
know.
because you're thinking about what you just said now. You know, I never really figured it out that way. That maybe it's, but I think my accent is so Nigerian that if I feel like if I speak to you, there's no way in hell you're asking me where am I from, and you're
Yeah,
thinking I'm
tell
going to
them
tell
you're
you
from
American
Philadelphia.
states,
Tell them you're
bro.
from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, my accent no near Philadelphia. I don't get my accent. Warrior has finished my accent. I know if you change them. I can't even save myself. Do you get? So I feel like maybe it's about me. So thinking about it now, Maybe I'll try it next time. So I think I've gotten that a couple of times. So you are
Mhm.
going, where are you from? Even if you go, oh, I'm from New York. They
Mhm.
say, no, where are you originally from? And I think
Right.
for me, it's because my accent is like so Nigerian or so foreign that you want to know where I'm originally from. So that's it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think the accent throws people off too. Like, like sometimes some people I meet some people that ask where am I from. There's like, okay, they can. It feels like they can detect an accent, but like you don't sound like a typical African, but you don't sound American. So it confuses some people. So they so they're like, what? It's like, where are you from? Because they have some ideas of what they think an African should sound like.
Should sound like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Which means
or
you're boxing everybody into one
it,
one.
yeah. So there's like, okay, where are you from? So sometimes I'll
And
say, I'll just say. So what I end up doing sometimes, I then say, oh, I'm originally from Nigeria, and I give a whole story,
Yeah.
which I hate doing. But sometimes I just give those
For
stories.
me, as I said, it depends on who I'm talking to, really. So if I'm talking
yeah,
to
yeah,
someone that I feel like, and the context, I feel like you are someone that wants to drill down to the original origin. If that makes sense.
Hmm.
I don't know if that one makes
Yeah.
sense. But, so
Yeah.
if I'm going to drill down to that point, then I just go and tell you, I'm from Nigeria, oh, but I'm not from this part of America. But then if someone that's just asking me, and I feel like I don't know, man, you want to know where I'm from in the United States, then I'll tell you my state.
Hmm.
So
yeah. One thing I
Yeah.
noticed, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" They're like, "Oh, you're Nigerian." I have a Nigerian friend. His name is Mr. Ola and so and so. I'm like, "Oh my
Is-
god,
You
that
know the
company has
guy. You know
someone
him,
I'm
eh?
you know,
You know.
how the hell?"
I actually I got that one too.
Because, and sometimes it's just like with the accent thing. When you talk to them, they're like, okay. The way they pronounce the name, I'm like, okay, you're talking of Mr. Oladipo, and stuff like that. Oh, he lives in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm like, well, oh, I don't know him. Then
Hold on, that's
sometimes
one of 96 states.
if I want to be funny, I'm like,
Literally, how are you supposed to know?
there are a lot of people with names. It's a generic name, answering Oladipo. But it's kind of interesting. Some of them is just innocuous. It's not like they're trying to be harmful, but it's
Hmm.
just
When,
it's trying to
when
piss
you
them
speak
off.
of that, something comes to mind. I mean, this conversation keeps bringing things to mind as we're talking, right? So
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine. Sometime I used to have this gig somewhere in California. So I met someone and a colleague, and she was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Again, from where I'm from, and I'm not from."
Hmm.
And she, "Oh no, where are you originally from?" Which is usually the second stage step in the question, right? And I'm like, "I'm originally from Nigeria." And then she goes something like this, your Mr. Allah stuff. Like, "Oh, do you know Mr. Let's use Mr. Allah for instance. Oh, do you know Mr. Allah? He's from Nigeria. He's my pastor, used to be my pastor, but he was moved, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "No, I don't know Mr. Allah because there are so many Allahs." She's like, "Oh, really? Is Nigeria that big?" And I said, "Okay, cool. Do you where are you from?" She said, "Oh, she's originally from, is it Belarus or one of those countries?" And I said, "Okay.
Hmm.
Do you know Mr. Shevchenko?" Like, who is Mr. Shevchenko? I'm like, "What? Is Belarus so big?" I know say Shevchenko na Ukraine, sha, but I just took out that small pin. You understand? I'm like, do you know me? You don't know Mr. Shevchenko because why? It's one person from a country. And now you're asking me
Yeah.
where I know Mr. Allah because I'm from Nigeria. So that kind of, it was like a tit for tat thing, and we just laughed about it. And then I think she got the point that the fact that I'm from Nigeria doesn't know I will know Mr. Allah, who was used to
Yeah.
be your pastor, who's no longer your pastor. I beg. I don't know Mr. Allah. I beg.
It's just like the generic name Patel. Everybody, there's always one Patel somewhere. So Oladipo is unique. But again,
Yeah.
they're just trying to get to know the people, and just like one person they know from the country, they feel you know the person. So it's quite
Yeah.
interesting.
So let me ask you guys: do you guys sometimes are you sometimes ashamed to say you're from Nigeria,
Never.
or you're
No.
Never.
origin,
As in,
or
for me, I mean, speaking for myself, never. So I know we get a lot of stick for
yeah.
a lot of things that are happening across, but
Hmm.
I would dare anybody to pull up the stats, right? Pull up the stats and
Hmm.
tell me how, or tell me the country doesn't have the same issues that Nigeria has. for a
Right.
developing country or for an African country or in terms of politics, pull up the stats in terms of cybercrime. I'll say it out loud. Yahoo, Yahoo, whatever. I'll say it out
Hmm.
loud. I'm not, I will never, I'm not in support of that. I'm just saying that we, some people might say, oh, Nigerians are embarrassing themselves, blah, blah, blah. But trust me, pull up the stats, look at every country. They have similar challenges, similar crimes. So I've never been ashamed. I will never be ashamed. If I own Nigeria up to my tribe, do you understand? Eh, it's up to my tribe. In fact, my kids actually answer Urobo names in America. Because I'm Urobo. We all Urobo, sha. Don't cast us. I'm Urobo. My children answer Urobo names. And they have English names, but I chose for them to answer Urobo names so that you, from beginning, if you want to ask them, where are you from, start them from their name. As you hear their name, like, where are you from? When I continue from there, that's their own wahala. But trust me, I'm never going to be ashamed of my country.
So your kids, when you ask them where are they from, what did they say? If someone
About those
asked
ones,
them.
they'll tell you they're from America. Oh. They're not even.
That's quite
That's another topic. If we start
That's
that one,
another
yeah,
topic.
that's
Yeah,
another topic, man. But the
yeah,
Americans, American Nigerians.
okay. So every country has their eccentricities, and Nigeria, it's a great country. And I know I alluded to in our previous episodes about the communal life, the sharing. They all do good stuff. Like sometimes they stay into your business. Like one funny thing, and then they're sarcastic people. So part of what I like where I used to live, a guy was on vacation for 2 months. They were not used to seeing him at home. So they went to him like, hey, oh bros, did you get fired? Like, no, I'm on vacation. Like, we were worried.
Where
So
in America or in Nigeria?
in Nigeria, I'm just talking about countries with
Oh,
their
Nigeria. They go ask us whether they fire him.
yeah, because they were not used to seeing home, being on vacation or leave or whatever that synonym is. So those are the good stuff you hear about it. And when industrious people were known for some negative stuff, that doesn't mean there are things we don't like. We're getting better, like Musi mentioned about the country. We're going to get there. And there's one stat, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, we're the most educated immigrants in the US. And most of
Yes,
us who come in have
said
an
it.
undergraduate degree.
We said it. If he pay
Yeah,
you,
like I
go
mentioned
and
in
get your
my
degree. Yes, if he
so
pay you, if you are watching this and he pay you, go and get your degree. We talk him. We are the
yeah,
most
there are other
educated
Africans, but Nigerians
in America.
they one of the most educated immigrants, and it's a good
Maybe
thing.
one of,
And
we are the most.
again, the Nigerians who
We
have
will
done
sit
my
in the comment section.
if you want to go edit and like the CEO of Red Lobster, he's Nigerian and things like that. So back to you, Ricky.
yeah, yeah. So, what would you say is like the most ridiculous stereotype you've heard? Or when you tell someone, "Yeah, I'm from Nigeria," what? Do you have any examples of some ridiculous stereotype? Sometimes there's the usual people always joke like, "Oh, do you have cars there?" I remember people like surprised that
Never
they have
experienced that.
cities and cars. You
Ah,
never experienced that?
let's sit
Okay.
down on the side of America and I will
Yeah,
refute you.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
swear,
yeah,
I've never seen
yeah.
that.
So, okay. So, what is a ridiculous stereotype you think you've experienced when you tell people you are from Nigeria?
There are lots. One of them was, oh, I heard you can use $2,000 to buy a lot of hectares of land in Nigeria, or they say in Africa. I'm like, well, what part? Because I'm curious as well. Probably, I have no
I mean, you
idea.
go by
Or
yourself, Nabi.
let me go. Yeah, let me go purchase for myself. I'm like, hey,
Okay. No
I've been
wahala
in
now.
different places where we call, in Nigeria, they say the villages, or you go buy land, the village, the country. There's some areas, some people don't know. You can actually buy land in America. When I heard the people, not only houses. So I'm like, no. The big cities like Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, or maybe some part of Warri or so, whereby the rent is
But they
more
don't have
expensive.
fresh air there, right? No fresh air there,
Apparently, I
according to.
think Mose has to defend that about the fresh air. I think he has a kind of instrument whereby he measures the amount of particulate matter in the air or stuff like that. So probably, so that's there are plenty of them. But I'll just say this one so that we go around the room one at a time and talk about that. But it's kind of interesting that they feel like, oh, with $2,000 or $1,500. You can
Mhm.
buy hectares of land, and with another $2,000, you're gonna build an ultra mall, and it's gonna be nice. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
that's quite interesting. That's one of them. We just let it go around. I think more your mic, we can't hear
Oh,
you.
yeah.
We need to hear you.
You're asking about the most ridiculous stereotype, right? For me,
Mhm.
I think it's the obvious, right? So I've met a couple of people that immediately I say I'm Nigerian, without them saying anything, you can see that recoil, as if fraudsters, right? I've experienced it a couple of times. But the funny thing is, I mean, anybody that knows me in real life knows that I do not shy away from engaging you, right? So when I notice, I say, come, is there something you want to say to me? And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm like, say it, oh. And as I said here earlier, if you want to go down that route and tell me, oh, Nigerians are scammers and wanting, then you tell me your country and they will pull up the stats and you tell me see whether you know get front staff of your country. So most times I just call you out and say, hey, I don't care where I mean I've done it in different places. It's not like aggressively because again that's another stereotype for the black man, right? But we're not going there.
Mhm.
I hope I'm still audible.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are.
Yeah, so I'm not going down that route about race, but I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm going to just tell you that I noticed it,
Mhm.
right? And just in case you didn't even bring it out and you didn't plan to, or I'm being too forward, in case you plan to bring it, you go swallow around. Do you understand? And they've played that kind of play. So most times I'm just like, see, hey, don't, is there anything you want to say to me? Hey, I'm gainfully employed. I do my thing. I'm minding my
Mhm.
business. So yeah, so
Mhm.
I've noticed that a couple. That's been it. But that whole car lion climbing tree, gonna climb lion, be the beat lion with hand and leg. Oh boy, I never experienced that one. If anybody tell me that thing, oh boy, I go bust laugh. Oh. You tell me say whether you don't get car. Nah, I'll tell you reach America. I trek.
I, I mean, you don't blame them, right? Because some of the images some people see is starving children in Africa. Oh, send $1 to them to feed them. For me, one ridiculous thing I always experience is people are surprised that people speak English in Nigeria. Like
That's a
people,
good one.
yeah, there is that
Oh
surprise.
yes, I've gotten that
Yeah,
one too.
yeah, like, and I think for some people they don't realize that English is spoken. As I told my time, like English is the official language of Nigeria. Like if you go, but that is surprising to them. Even not to get political, even the president of this country. I don't know if you guys saw that. He when he met with the president of
South
Liberia,
Africa. Oh, Liberia, sorry.
and he was president was like, "Wow, your English is so good. Where did you learn to speak English? Did you guys see that?
I
I think
saw
I
that.
saw
So
that.
Yeah. So
again, I'm not gonna go to political route. Like I'm not gonna go political route. Like guys, I beg.
No, this is just
Let's stay on
talk.
topic. Back to
yeah,
where are you from?
yeah. No, I'm just saying that's part of the whole stereotype, right? People don't think that Africans in Nigeria, people speak
Yeah,
English. Is
true.
that's
Yeah,
that's
I
one
know
of
that.
those assumptions. And even worse, when they see you speak English, they're impressed. They're like, like your
Okay,
English
yes,
is so good.
I have gotten that one. Yes, they're like,
Yeah.
so you sound so educated. I'm like, you get mad? Mind do. Like, say what this one? You don't get,
Yeah.
When I
get it.
when you use certain vocabulary when you speak the English, as a matter of fact, no disrespect, I've told somebody I speak better English than them.
I
No,
trust you. I just because you're colloquial and auspicious.
I went because I mean in Nigeria they taught us how to speak English. Now, what is a sentence? A sentence contains a subject, a noun, and a verb. Some of them don't even know that. They don't know the structure of a sentence. So when
Mhm.
I start saying all this, do you know about your interjection, conjunctions, rules of English? Well, they taught us all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, your grammar is good. Sometimes I take it as a compliment. I was taking it as offense. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
speak English.
Initially, at first I heard that comment, I did not know. I was very confused by it. It wasn't like two
Which of
years
the
later.
comments?
Oh, your English is so good. Like I was confused by that comment until like 2 years later. I was thinking, I was like, they were thinking that I just learned English like in 2 months because it was like two,
Okay,
like
to pass
it
your
was like
citizenship.
two, yeah, like, it was like 2 months after I came, and this woman's like, "Oh, your English is so good," and I didn't really process it. 2 years, I was like, oh, okay. She thought maybe I just learned English.
Okay, and then you're already so good at it.
That's so good. Yeah. So that's, I'm like, yeah. So it's one of
So you
those.
have always
Yeah.
been so you were like mainly in the West Coast, right?
Yes. West Coast. Yeah.
Mainly West Coast. Okay, maybe the experience is different, right? In the West Coast, I don't know. I'm just saying because trust me, around my neighbor, my state and neighborhood and everything, there's a lot of Africans, a lot of black people and all that. So maybe my experience is different, which is why it's really good that we have this where we are seeing America from like three different
Right.
points of view. And yeah, so maybe that's why. And it's interesting. I mean, even though for this lovely Diaspora Chatter podcast, I would have gotten to hear all these stories. Like, so nice one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
true. I haven't gotten
Yeah.
these experiences from you guys, so it's actually fun.
Yeah, America is huge. Right? It's very huge and diverse. Like you've got the East Coast, West Coast. You have all this different, like you're saying, you have some experiences in the East Coast
I might
that's
be
foreign to you in the West.
foreign.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's foreign. Yeah, so
and then you got the South Side. They have the whole thing going on there. You got the North Alaska. Like I don't even know what's going on in all those places, man.
trust me,
you
it's like
know.
another word.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So it's so diverse, but yeah. So yeah, where are you from? That's always a very interesting one. It's yeah, it's but we are Nigerians. At the end of the day, we're Nigerians in
And we're
America.
Africans as well.
We're Africans. We're African Americans, but you know. It's Do you guys get confused with those forms when you like if you're applying for jobs?
Well,
Like
my brother was I
Either
just see black. Sometimes I never really bother to
black
find
or
it.
African
If
American.
I see
That's
black or African American, except I see the one that says black, then in bracket not African American. I mean,
I've
mm,
never seen that.
I mean, no. I see the one that says black African American, and there's one that
mm,
says black, other black or something, non-African Americans. That's what I'm saying. That. So,
The most
but
ones
most
I've
times I
seen
don't
from
reach black. I don't.
Japan.
But my brother, this again, that's on that topic. But
right.
they check
That's
those
true.
things, man. I don't think they check those things. So I click anything that my mouse reach.
Yeah, so for those not familiar, in America they do a lot of they like to collect your race because they use that for the stats and hiring, which is something that does not happen in Nigeria, I'm assuming, right?
Nigeria,
I can
Nigeria, the
imagine.
first thing they use that age. Oh. And again, they also they attack Nigeria. Nigeria on that age, you must be 26 or below for entry level jobs. You must have
Nigerians,
masters and PhD and this one and that one. Nigeria's
Right,
recruitment system has its own ways of doing
right. But
things.
they
So
won't ask you if you're Hausa or Igbo, right?
I
I
think we're
think
getting
I
there.
think in the details you feel. I'm trying to remember. You play place of birth, date of birth, age. Some people
No,
do
yeah,
have their own.
they actually ask for state of origin.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
They ask for
Okay.
state, but do they collect that data to filter people? I don't know. The main thing, again, I'm speaking for like maybe a decade ago kind of thing, but I know then the key thing was most time maybe again that was also me maybe the kind of roles I was applying for. Most of those roles will tell you 25 or 26 and below and all that. You must get it to a 2-1. I mean, for
Mhm.
Nigerians, you understand what a 2-1 is like a second class upper
Class up.
degree when you graduate from university or yeah,
What's it, rookie? You know this one is like summa cum laude or something like that. They call it here, or cum laude.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
that's it. So for Nigeria, they have their own system. But again, let's not go off topic too much.
So, do you guys ever feel like you're too Nigerian here, but too American when you go back? Otis.
Well, I've been told I speak pidgin English, but some of the feedback we got, I was told my pidgin English is kind of different.
No,
But
the feedback
however,
was like,
I
sorry,
want
the
to say
feedback was like
something.
you're speaking too much English.
Yeah, I speak too much English. But however, they said there's an adage or idiom in pidgin English. Say son need to feed a dry cloth finish.
Hmm. Interesting.
Then
What's
now they
that?
water fit dry come all the
That
cloth.
Ah,
So
guy, don't chop
I'm
about this
deeply
one. Koto son.
deeply Nigerian, and at home when I come back home, I can still be. I remember I was in Nigeria a few years ago. They say, you didn't look like who came from abroad. I'm like, how do they look like? Because I'm always my authentic self, right? Maybe speak English here and there and stuff like that. However, I'm like, they were expecting to see me wearing earrings, which I do like, honestly, though. I do love them.
Call my name now. Sure.
Earrings, and maybe have braid my hair and all other stuff. My hairline is going in, so I don't think I can be able to do that. So I think I'm still more Nigerian than I am American, but I
Mhm.
leave it for the audience to decide.
Mhm.
More, tell me more.
Mo,
See.
Mo, Mo, what about
Me,
you?
I think I'm a perfect balance. So
Mm,
I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm too Nigerian in America because I kind of fit. I just go with the flow, right? I mean, I wear studs sometimes. The day enter my head, I wear stud. Day I don't like, I don't wear. I've braided my hair at some points. I've cut it off because my hairline saved the chop, but it doesn't matter, right? And I associate with like pretty much everyone: Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans, Cameroonians, everyone, right? So
mm,
I mean, Americans, Indians, So I'm again. I'm in a public setting. I might not be I might not light up the room immediately because I take my time to. I respect boundaries a lot, right?
That's
So
awesome.
it might seem to some people that maybe I'm a little maybe cocky or shy. You might interpret it that way, but for me, it's more of me reading the room. I like to read the room before I step in. So that's something I do here. But when I get back home, when I go back home, on the few times I've gone back home, I did Nigerian finish. You understand? Like I'm entering that book to go and chop. I'm rolling with my day ones. Do you get? They enter everywhere. They enter normally. I don't think I'm very. So it's not up to those in Nigeria to now say, oh, maybe you are too American maybe because you look some kind of way. Maybe you consent some kind of dressing like that, like that. Like I'll give you an example. For Nigeria, now, I could go for an occasion and maybe I'm going for a wedding and I know wear and decide not to wear the ashwebi or something. Not because and I wear a simple native because I feel like not be my party. I don't waste money buy this kind of thing. At that point, but to someone like you be American, I won't call the form, say how they go. But for me, it's more about I don't realize say maybe my priorities don't change. My priorities have changed. You understand? So those kind of things, some people might perceive it differently, but I think I'm very nice. I think I'm a perfect balance. Otis, whether you are trying to attack me because I wear stud, it's not
Yeah,
me.
no,
Wear
I
stud, yeah.
just
I'm not gonna wear am again. Okay, that's
no,
something
no,
I
no,
will.
no.
If I reach Nigeria now, I feel not want to am because I don't want make police use me in that ground because I understand how Nigeria they go. I don't want wahala. So I feel no wear am. Not me say maybe maybe I'm just again as I said I'm perfect. I know how Nigeria is. I respect. I don't get power. I don't be freedom fighter. I don't get power to go to speak grammar. Say hey, you resemble street. I don't resemble anything. You understand? So I don't respect myself. Carry my bag. They go.
When you were talking, I just got an epiphany. Like, how incorporated in America. There's some synonyms they use here, which are kind of different stuff. So sometimes they call chips fries and fries chip. I don't even know, Rookie, you might know better. So some of our terminologies, like one thing, like incorporating into the America, they call trousers pants.
mhm.
When I
Oh
first moved there,
yes,
when you say pants, I'm
that is
like,
what had me there.
I would say trousers or trousers. Like our wardrobe, they call it closets.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's closet now.
So those, like the windscreen in a car, they call it the windshield. Like we call it
And then
steering wheel, they say the wheels.
bonnet and
A bonnet
hood.
is the hood, then the
Yeah,
boot is the trunk.
let me tell you people something. Sorry to cut you short. Let me tell you something.
But go
Me,
ahead.
when I'm talking in this country, eh, if I notice that I'm speaking this my normal Nigerian Bangolo accent, you are not understanding me. Sometimes I just switch to pidgin, so that we know we just dey understand each other. So we will now both slow down. I'll give you an example. When I first came, there was this Wendy's near my house. So I would drive to the Wendy's. I'll tell them I want this. The guy will say, "Come to the window, I can't hear you." I look this guy say, waiting now. I will just go to the window. That's in the payment window instead of ordering. And
Mm.
I was new. I didn't understand all those baconator. This one now, I don't know all those things. I just like, make I dey read the thing, look the thing. Say, okay, I like this bread and this chicken. That looks like this. I want to order it. The guy will say, come to the window. I can't reach window. They struggle. Okay. One day, I think that day, I chop vex from house. I go to the drive-through, and the guy said immediately I was going. The guy said, "My man said, come to the window." I said, "I know they hear you." He said, "What do you say?" I said, "I know they hear you." Come to the window. I said, I know they hear you. I want order number two. The spicy chicken. I want pepper jack cheese.
Not
He now
chicken
say, okay,
chicken.
That's
okay, can you
that's
slow down? I can't slow down. Suddenly, this my accent when come the hard bros. He can't hear me. He now got my order very correct. I got to the window, I had to pay. He dey look me at the look and he knows I delayed the line. We spent like 5 minutes. So I can't hear you. I be like deaf and dumb. Before call security that they come carry me for that drive. Because that day I made up my mind that you this accent so you go hear them because I don't know what they do you.
Yeah. So for me, right? I feel like I'm stuck in this place where when I go to some places, I don't feel American, and I don't feel American enough. Especially sometimes they make me aware of it because I stand out, because you know my name, right, or whatever, and then I don't feel Nigerian enough because I've been away from Nigeria for so long. There's so many. I'm behind on some of the latest slangs and latest trends.
You need
So
to stay.
I'm
You need to be on TikTok and Instagram a lot more. Then you catch it up. Then you make
nah,
younger
man, forget.
friends in your 20s. You get your
you
friends in their
know,
20s. They can point you towards the current trends. Your cousins
yeah.
and stuff.
I mean, I tried watching some of the comedy videos, and now I can't even relate to some of the humor anymore, man.
Well, well, for me, the way I keep track of Nigerian slangs and everything,
Yeah.
it's Twitter. So that's maybe I like Twitter because I don't have a picture up on Twitter. I don't tweet like that. I'm not really an Instagram person because all those pictures, all those fake. You invest for you snap one picture, paint on your face, the phone one thing. I don't care about that. I like Twitter, so I feel like a lot of slang comes out of Twitter. Then there's TikTok. So I got into the TikTok world. I mean, I've been able to rescue myself out because that place, most times you get the hang of TikTok, it's really hard to get yourself out of it. So I've been able to
Mm.
unwind and pull out. But for you want to keep abreast with latest slangs and the madness, and there's one that they're doing a Cynthia Euphoria go home or something. I don't know how they come up with those things. Cynthia Euphoria go home. And when I say it now, it's not funny. But if you go on TikTok and watch people create videos this thing, man, it's hilarious. Yeah, Chris and there's my guy Gigi. Shout out to Gigi, our follow brother, right? If you're Gigi, if you're watching this, better retweet our video. That's Usually boy will be area, all of us in area, normal. So there's Gigi and people like that. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to, I don't know, young Nigerians, African immigrants, on how to answer this question with confidence? Where are you from? Like, what advice, what wisdom would you give to them?
yeah. For me, you know where you're from. Said you can take that. Fuck, I'm trying to get. I can't bring it out of my head right now. But however, you celebrate where you're from by telling them exactly where you're from. And some of them, like I mentioned, they're inquisitive. They want to know. So you said, "Hey, I am from Nigeria in West Africa." That's some like cardinal points. You're giving them some beacon, not just Africa, because Africa is just the whole place. There are many countries in Africa. So tell
Mm.
them I'm from Nigeria and Africa. Tell them about Nigeria, the culture of the people. There are more than 200 ethnic group. There are three predominant tribes. There's the like we mentioned in our last episode. You could tell them about Tinapa, Boku Game Reserve, the great history of Nigeria. You can tell them about the food. You can tell them about the industries, the falling ones. I know there used to be this bata shoe in those days where we used to go. I don't want to call it high school or secondary school because sometimes I get this vocabulary mixed up, which meant so you can tell them about everything, the life, communal culture, and be proud of it. That's where you're from. That's your heritage.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And sometimes be patient. Some of them are like, hey, like we mentioned, do you know Ladipo is my friend? He used to work here. Some of them are a popular one I've heard. They said, do you know Lagos? I'm like, you mean Lagos?
Lagos, Portugal, or Lagos,
Looking
Nigeria?
like you mentioned, somebody knew Saple. I've
Mhm.
had people like, oh, you know this place. Oh, yeah, I lived in Nigeria. There was, I think one of my, I think I met somebody. I was just talking to the person and like, hey, I'm from Nigeria and all that. I said, oh, I used to live in Nigeria. I'm like, what? Say, yeah,
Mhm.
I used to live in Lagos. My dad was in the army, and so you never know. And some people they could be innocent, but then you're gonna get the other ones like, oh, you know, a lot of people. But my advice is, my advice is like,
this
be proud of
this
where you are.
Oladipo don't suffer.
My guy
Yes.
don't chop. Don't
A
chop
lot of
am.
people, if you're hearing, your name is popular now.
Which of the Oladipo you dey talk? Oladipo wey be am.
That there you go. Which of the what? It's I don't know. Guess we're not talking of anyone then. So that's my
Yeah.
advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll take that up. Again, as I said earlier, you should be proud of where you're from. I mean, no matter what, every country has their challenges. Don't own. I don't want to. Don't get stuck. So if you are a new immigrant, you're moving to the states or you're moving anywhere else in the world. I want you to always understand that every country has their challenges. Every country has so-called bad people, good people. We have terrible politicians, great politicians. We have good and bad everywhere. I mean, it doesn't cut across man, woman, race. It's just people
Mhm.
being people. And sometimes system enables things to go south. So don't let anybody describe you or put you in that mental box where you're feeling like, they think I'm Nigerian. So, hey, God, what's going to happen? Even if it's,
Mhm.
let's say, for instance, the job opportunity, and you feel like because you're Nigerian, if you say you're Nigerian, they're not going to give it to you. Then maybe that job is not meant for you in the first place, so you go and try something else. There's always chances. Sometimes we force ourselves into situations, and then maybe nature is actually pushing you away, and then no, I must go here, I'm gonna do it, and then you regret it long term. So own your country. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Caribbeans, Jamaica, wherever you're from. Trust me, every country has their challenges, but how you present it to how if you make that affect your person and then you make yourself a part of that field system, it's all on you at the end of the day. Because even for well, no matter the country you're from, there are great people from your country that have done great things across the world. So you have to choose whether you want to be part of the great people of your country that will make them say, I felt like Nigerians were bad, but you are different. Or you go ahead and confirm whatever stereotype that got you in that mind space in the first place. So, but just take the right decision, which is stay strong and be focused and be proud of your country.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. I don't know if I can add anything more because you guys gave some really good good advice there. But yeah, being proud of where you are from. Even like sometimes, I don't know if you guys see this, like let's say you're watching like basketball and you see like a player, you see a Nigerian name.
Omo, I'm
The,
all over the moon, man.
yeah, you know, it,
Football,
yeah, it's
basketball, any sports
yeah,
where I just say Nigerian
it's
name.
Nigerian name, you
Sometimes you
know,
don't even dey sure if you just be another African country when just
right?
if you
Yeah.
even be like Black American, I don't want to know.
Hmm.
Great grandpapa na Nigerian. Now why I get that
Yeah,
name?
yeah, exactly. Exactly, you know. So you get that sense of, pride and excitement, So yeah, so to anyone out there thinking of coming, immigrating, don't be afraid, don't be shy, represent your country. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they should go for the streets of America like people usually think.
Yeah,
Even Ricky confirmed in the first episode and say that's what he thought. It's not like that. Trust me. Some of these things are vibes. Come, let's all build
Yeah.
ourselves and then also continue to build our country because we're still
get
Niger.
better jacket like Mosi.
We're
Mosi
still
was
old
growing up
worry. I'm gonna leave my jacket. So that
Mosi
jacket,
was
they
growing
don't
up
ask
north
me for that
and
jacket. They say,
he brought
how was your jacket feeling cold? I said, well, I don't die.
I saw that comment. And I mean, it's also a great place. One of the, about the experience, there's nice food. Like Mo knows, we go out to some restaurant and it's challenging for me to eat their food. Another thing there, especially, when you come to this Nigerian store. It's for you to get yam,
That's,
fufu, and
I was
all.
just have to say suya and suya spice just in case.
Mostly does good suya. I sent us suya spice. Shout out to your suya spice.
I haven't received
Awesome.
the soya spice yet. Did you
I
send it?
received
I'm
mine.
obsessed with my suya spice, man.
So if you guys need suya spice, just know go to Mo, get you some nice suya spice when you come in. You
Fresh.
know, get the
How
best
do you
suya.
say it in America again? Made, is it made from scratch, right? Made.
Homemade,
Or
No,
homemade,
no, it's not like
homemade.
that. Like,
fresh
but made from
ingredients.
scratch, as if you put all the ingredients together.
Mm.
It's not like you imported. So, more spices. I've gotten the most made from
All right,
scratch.
well,
Come on,
don't
me
use
up,
this
hit
to
me
plug
up.
your don't use this to plug your business, man. Your
Bro,
suya business.
when you will fire me now, jealousy don't enter.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for chatting. For those who are watching, please, if you enjoyed this, always feel free to like it, leave a comment, share it, subscribe, so you know when we publish a new
And put on
episode.
your notification. Yeah,
Yeah, put on your notification. That way, you know you get it fresh as soon as we publish. You know. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.